What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Your Average Girl Talk, where we aim to gain and give different perspectives on unpopular opinions and uncomfortable topics. I'm your host, Nick Knack, and I asked you guys on IG what you wanted to talk about today, and you guys decided to talk about dating someone older. If you did not get a chance to vote, that is A-okay. Just make sure you follow me on IG at nick.knack_ and get your next vote in. So I have two guests with me today, and of course I love giving you guys different perspectives on these different topics. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first guest, Shakira. Hello,
Hey.
What it do?
What's up, y'all?
Okay, so of course I have to ask, have you ever dated anyone older yourself?
Hey.
Okay.
I'm like, right into it. Yes, I have. I've actually preferred dating older guys in general just because I like wisdom.
Okay.
But wisdom does not necessarily equate to being older.
Right.
It's just I like people who are mature, who know what they want, who know how to be honest
Okay.
and upfront. So I've had experiences dating older men when I was young. I don't want to name no ages. I don't want to say the
I
age,
kind
but
of do want to know.
but when I was like young, actually, it kind of gets a little deep.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, this guy lied about his age and said he was younger than what he was, and he was actually way older than that. But that really exposed me to, like, I think things that I wouldn't have been exposed to as a teenager, like going, like he had a car, we was always traveling. We was I was just doing anything and just like being out there going shopping. Like it exposed me to a lot of, I guess, privileges.
Yeah.
Like I wanted a guy who knew how to lead.
Yeah.
Like, okay, know how to take initiative, know how to invite me out to stuff. So it kind of made me realize that that's what I was expecting from a lot of guys. Like, so when I would date guys my age, I wasn't as not turned on. It just was boring because they were still so young and childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pros. I hear a lot of pros about dating someone older. Do you feel like you had any challenges with dating someone older?
I think the most recent one, this older guy, he was like preparing for marriage. And he was like ready to build. So I had not been with someone who was so serious about building and like ready. He was like, so what are you doing to prepare yourself? And you know me, I was like an artist. I'm just literally transitioning to even start thinking about marriage and family and kids.
Right.
So his straightforwardness was very attractive to me. It like made me pull up in ways that intimidated me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not really prepared. And this is like, I'm like, God, I'm ready to be a wife. I'm ready to be married and meet my person.
Right.
And then you send somebody who's like, do you have your finances in order? Are you into stocks? How are you stable emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Like all these ways. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And it's like, and I feel like I'm a great person. And those things are not imbalanced. But it just, I feel like it put a fire under me to like really strive to prepare for that. Because it's not like you sit around and be like, all right, at least for me, I'm like, let me prepare to be a wife. Yeah. What does that look like? Yeah. How do you actually prepare your actions to be able to be committed to somebody in marriage and not just, oh, we're dating and boyfriend and girlfriend, we hanging out and doing all this other stuff. Yeah. So it really made me pull up. And it's like, this is recent. Somebody that I was talking to, and it intimidated me. It made me see like my weak areas in myself and like, okay, you're not really serious about this area of your life. How can you get serious? Because it's a commitment. Like a lot of people, they get married and they go into these commitments with somebody, but it's like you haven't really thought about all of that for real. You know, like all that goes into that type of commitment.
And honestly, that doesn't to me even sound like that much of a con. It's kind of just like or like a challenge. It's kind of okay, I have to think about it, but it doesn't necessarily like sound like the worst thing in the world, kind of being confronted with more of a reality or like a truth. Like how you said, I'm not really ready right now. That just is what it is.
Yeah. One of the cons, I think it was, have you heard of that dating guy named Kevin Samuels? You know what I'm talking about?
No. Maybe if I saw him. I'm not good with names.
He's one of the guys that be coming rating women. Like, he was the guy that said that Beyonce was like a 7, or Beyonce wasn't something. Basically, he rates girl, and he's like, take a look at yourself. Do you really think you a 9?
Oh, sir.
What do you do? Like, he'd be reading the girls. And honestly, I was looking at that situation, and I was like, you know, who is he to say these things? But then I got out of my emotions and got out of my feelings, and I'm like, let me see what he's saying.
Yeah.
And some of the points he's making are very true, because it's like, be real about yourself. Like, and that's what this older guy is telling me. He was like, I know what you want and what you think your potential is, but what is the reality?
Right.
Of the situation.
Yeah.
You thinking you want this man that's gonna just take care of you. He's like, do you even work out?
Okay.
Do you go to the gym while you want a man with all these muscles and all this other stuff? So I think it's just more so dating older people makes you realize that you wanna makes me understand the fact that you have to be what it is that you're wanting.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to be able to be independent.
Yeah.
Some people think they want an independent woman,
and they're not ready for it.
And then it's like, you don't really know what comes the ambition, like, I gotta be on the move. Some people want a wife or girlfriend that's just gonna sit at the house all day.
Yeah.
And so it's like, those kind of questions came up more so when I date older men, whereas like when I date younger guys, they're not talking about stuff like that, like, what's your retirement plan? Right. All these things that are for long term, but I like that because that's where I'm headed. Like, I don't want to just because I'm young, be dating for fun. And, I'm having fun. I'm out here, I'm wilding, and da-da-da-da. It's like, nah, I ain't trying to be like this. A lot of people in our generation, you know. Yeah. And I'm not judging anybody because it's different strokes for different folks. But I know that at the end of this journey, when I'm old, I want to be with my husband and my grandchildren in my house chilling. I'm not trying to be, you know, all this open marriages and polygamy, and I get it, I understand it, but like, I don't think that is what I see for myself in the long run. Yeah. So I think dating older guys have really allowed me to be mature, which I already kind of dated in that way. Yeah. But it really just made me even more so like, okay, really do work in these areas so that you can start attracting people. And not even attracted, so you can becoming that, so, which is attraction, but so you can like resonate with that because you're already providing that stuff that for yourself. But I know a lot of girls that got the sugar daddies. Oh, that part. And that don't work for me. I try to be that way where it's like, okay, he gonna take care of you, he's gonna do everything. I don't know if I have a problem with receiving, but it's so hard for me to do that, and it keeps coming up too. I'm like, Lord, you know, I've been asking for some help. But it's like, I can't, because it's like, I don't want to, if I'm not attracted to you like that, then I can't just be with you just because you're giving me money. Right. But it also makes me feel like, dang, I got to give my body to a person in order for them to see me worthy enough to invest in. And it's like, some people like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't want that kind of person. Like, I want you to see my spirit and my heart and think that that's good enough. Yeah. But for some people, that's not. They like, it's not, what's your credit score looking like? Which I get. All that stuff does matter. So it's just going in that full circle thing, Xing off, okay, this, so that you feel mature in what it is that you want to become so that you can then attract something like that. Yeah. Being, like, younger, it's like, it's good to hear those things, but it's like, I'm also young, so I'm not really sometimes ready to hear those things. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yes, when I look back, I'm like, they did really have some valid points and they was right. But it's like, I don't know if I want that to come from my partner per se. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, it seems like you have had really good experiences more than not. Yeah. So that's a good thing. I pray for guys, like, which is so weird. I would pray for a guy, a wise man. Like, I want somebody who can lead me to God. Yeah. I want somebody who's wise. And then when God brought me these men who were wise, and the requirement, I would be like, it was like, but did you pray that God prepared you to receive that kind of person? Like, it is those tough questions that it's like, do you want to hear this from your person? I do, but some people don't. Like, I do. I will rather have those kind of talks from the person that I'm dating. Yeah, I definitely feel it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, well, I appreciate you and giving your thoughts and your input, because I've heard a lot of other things that I'm actually going to go over in this podcast too, so it's nice to get it from your side. Yeah. But I appreciate you. All right, so I am going to go ahead and bring on our next guest.
And like I said, I'm giving you guys different perspectives. So we talked with Shakira, and she gave us her outlook on dating older guys. But now we're going to talk to an older guy. Not like old man grandpa or nothing. But he's pretty much just here to give us the other side of the spectrum and actually dating younger women. So that being said, let's welcome Dre.
What's cracking?
Dre. So yeah, tell us a little bit just about you and what you do right quick.
For real, dancer, choreographer, done a few things. Not gonna get into any type of list or credits or anything like
Resume.
that. Yeah, nothing too serious. But I just get in, get out, stay out of the way. And I'm here to, hopefully drop some gems or some jewels, help y'all out.
I literally feel like he's gonna drop a lot. Okay. And just a little background, I've known him for a hot minute. And I don't know if I want to give him all the background.
A little minute, you know what I'm saying?
A hot minute. I might. We'll see how it goes. But I guess you being on the other side and have dated younger women.
Yeah.
What is, I guess, I like to just say pros and cons for lack of better words, but what's the pros?
Pros. All right. So.
And keep it a buck. All right. Keep it a buck.
Hold on now. Hold on. I don't know if y'all ready for a buck.
I think we're ready for a buck.
Look, listen. All right, so look, if we're honest, right, I don't think any man goes into anything thinking about like a pro and con. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Of course, it depends, right? So when it comes to younger women, right, some females, they're still figuring themselves out, right? So they may not be as particular about things that they want, right? They may not need as much as somebody who's older than you because for real, they're just out here enjoying living their life. They're a little naive, right? To be honest with you, right?
Okay.
So in a sense, depending on the type of person that you are, that can be considered a pro because there's certain things that, may come with that.
Right.
Depending on how you look at it. But again, I don't really think that there's like certain, you know what I'm saying, attributes to make it a pro. Right?
Okay.
I don't know. There's really not, nothing honestly to say there's a pro. And I'm assuming your next question is gonna be a con, right? There's really not even any
knows
con.
you so well.
Yeah. Look, I'm just trying to pick it up. There's really no. If you want to say a con, right? Sometimes they might make you feel a little old, depending on how young you're dealing with.
How so? So?
You might make a little reference, and they're like, "Yo, who is that? What is this? I've never heard that before."
Huh.
Yeah. See, age you real quick.
Okay.
Age you real quick. It'll bring you back real quick. But nah. There's no cons or. I don't like the pros and the cons.
He don't like it.
I'm sorry.
Feeling it. He's not feeling it.
I just don't. It's just hard to put into a box. Like it's hard to categorize. A con dating, like throwing a net on a whole.
Right, group.
A whole group of people.
Right.
Yeah, if you young, everything about this is off. You know what I'm saying? Or everything about this is perfect. Nah, I really just think it depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be 1 year younger than me, but mentally, you could be like 10 years younger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think it just depends on the person you're actually dealing with. Facts.
So then I'll ask this question. I don't think you saw this one come in. Yeah, take a drink.
Yeah.
So my next question is, in your experience, do you feel like you've treated the younger women the same as you have women your age or maybe older, as far as just within the relationship, going out, doing stuff, just the whole relationship? Do you feel like it was the same?
Honestly,
got his ass. Got him.
Right?
Got him. All right. We want
honestly,
keep it a buck.
Honestly, it can't be the same. It can't be. Because there's and it does. It's not always the guy's fault, right? So as I was saying, with the younger females, what I kind of said as a pro, they might not want as much. They're not as particular. They don't have a list of things that they've already been through and, don't want this again type of situation. So you don't have to do as much, right? I don't have to wine and dine you all the time, right? I don't have to show up in a tuxedo, you know what I'm saying, in a bow tie. I have no problem doing that. However,
he's like, just to be
clear.
Let's
be clear.
You see me cheesing,
Let's be clear, all right?
Sure.
Not an issue,
For
but
sure.
it's not, it's not necessary, right? I've dated an older woman before, and that was completely different from her perspective, right? Like, she helped grow me up at that time. Like, she had like three years on me, you know what I'm saying? And what she wanted, what she preferred, she was more vocal, right?
Yeah.
She's like, nah, you gotta and we need to
Yeah.
So either I had to pull up or, you know what I'm saying, get out.
Right.
The younger women, they don't know that yet, so
Yeah.
they can't ask for that. They can't, demand that of you.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying, it really doesn't matter. They can't be on the same level. Now, nah.
He said they just can't.
They just can't.
It just ain't gonna work.
Can't. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
And honestly, I had a feeling you were gonna say that, which is why I had to ask and just clear it up. Because I had a feeling that was the case.
Okay.
But I also feel
Smart.
like you do make a valid point that, like, at least for myself, I've always had a hard time just vocalizing what I want in general.
Yeah.
Aside from like relationship stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's definitely hard to do in relationships. And I think that's why you see a lot of young girls being naive. Like, they don't know. They're just like la-di-da. Or maybe they do know and they just don't really know how to say it.
Yeah.
But part of me kind of feels like how that older woman was there to kind of show you some things.
True.
I feel like it's kind of your role to do that for her.
Very
so
true.
when you say, it's not as necessary, in a sense, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, I think it'd be good. I'll say that. Grow her up.
Okay.
Show her what she could really expect, or if you're that person, what a gentleman is really like, or... You know what I'm saying? Because, again, maybe she doesn't know, or maybe she does want it and just doesn't know how to vocalize it. But you can at least, be like, hey, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go tonight? Like,
Exactly.
that kind of thing.
Nah. I think that's necessary as well. But that also depends on the type of relationship that you have with that person. So if you are dealing with a young woman and you do feel like this is somebody that you want to, potentially grow with and continue to build with, then you're 100% right. I feel like, as a man, that's your responsibility, is to bestow knowledge upon her and to help her out, right?
Yeah.
To put her on for the next, even if y'all don't continue to work out, whatever the case is, just to give her what just like you said. So one day she can become that older woman, you know what I'm saying, to help me out.
Right.
So no, that is very true. That is very true. But again, it just depends on who you're dealing with and what path you decide to take with her. You know what I'm saying? But no, agreed.
That's solid.
Agreed.
I ain't mad at it. That's some solid points. I just had to throw that in there because I'm like,
Nah, I see you out here. I see you out here trying to fish. You know what I'm saying? Grab the information for your viewers.
Okay,
I'm with it.
And I'm actually going to show you guys a clip of another guest. We'll say a virtual guest. I'm going to throw a clip in here, and she's going to kind of give her 2 cents and her experience on dating older guys.
Okay, so as someone who's dated 3 guys that are older than me, all between the ages of 7 and 11, whatever you consider older, dating these guys, especially after this last breakup, has made me realize that maybe I should maybe I should go back to dating guys my own age, because older guys are just, it's a whole form of hell that I don't know if I can go back to. I know females mature faster than guys, but especially when I first moved out to LA and I was fresh out of college and you're in your mid-30s and I'm way more mature than you, then there's a big issue there. So we'll call that a con. Pro was they've been in LA long enough so they could show me some cool things. I wouldn't say it made the sex better. I think older guys who haven't been in a mature relationship have explored way too much porn to know what good consensual sex is. Oh God, that sounds terrible. But, you know, they've just watched way too much porn and they like fantasize about way too many different things and like put that pressure on you to be this fantasy of what porn could be in real life for them. God, dude, it's awful, people. And maybe when, by the time they get into their mid-40s to 50s and they've experienced enough in life, thinks about time to, you know, get their shit together might be helpful. I don't know. I have a friend who likes to date older guys, and, you know, she's been through some hell, but, like, she's with an older guy now who's very wealthy. That helps. And he seems to be a good one, so it's a hit or miss. I guess, like, with dating any guy, it's gonna be a hit or miss. I'm over it at this point, though, so I'm about to be 27, so we're gonna try guys within, like, the 27 to 30 range. I think 3 years older is the oldest I can go, so we're gonna try that. I can't go anyone back to where I was before, but here's to hoping there's somebody out there.
So I just want to thank Rebecca for sending that clip in and giving us her thoughts, because they are very different from what we've been talking about so far today. And you guys saw, all in all, she really didn't have that great of an experience dating older guys. She's actually, like, done with it. She said she thinks it's about time to reel it in and date guys more so her age. And one of the main things I think she touched on that I thought was very interesting was the fact that older men don't necessarily haven't really given her a better sex experience. That was interesting to me. But it sounded like she was dating men that kind of went through life very immature, kind of like girl to girl, didn't really have like a set relationship or ever had a serious relationship.
Right.
And now they just so happen to be older and they're still dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still attracted to younger women. So that's kind of the vibe that I got. Just kind of something I've heard is that women like older guys for that, but it kind of depends, again, on the person.
Always.
And I think that's just the whole general thing, is that it really does depend on the person and what they've had previously going on.
I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Ooh.
All right?
Now he done added something onto the phrase. Until you know it.
Until you know it.
Until you know it.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, look, they don't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look, you have to have experiences, right? And maybe this guy never dealt with no one who told him
again
what they preferred or what they like to do. So I mean, what
you
is
don't
he
know
to
what
do?
you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Now I do tell you this: the movies, that ain't it.
Oh, and that's what she said. She was like,
Nah.
you know,
You can't do that.
It just don't work.
That ain't it.
It's not it.
That ain't it. You can make your own. But that
ain't gonna work.
No.
So that was interesting, but I definitely appreciate Rebecca's feedback, because like I said, it was way different than all the other things that we heard today. But that's really all I have for you. I definitely appreciate you coming and giving your side of things.
Of course.
It was intriguing. Definitely make sure you guys follow actually all three of my guests on IG. I will have them in the description box below. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did not get a chance to vote, like I said, just make sure you hop onto my IG at nick.nack_ and keep an eye out on my IG story for the next topic poll, and I will see you guys next time.